Hey guys, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me for another video. Today's video is going to be my second update in my 19 eyeshadows in 2019 Project Pan. So I did my last update about 2 months ago, and we're about at the halfway mark of the year, so I wanted to jump on and do another update. I have made a little bit of progress, so I'm excited to share that with you. In the last video, I was kind of contemplating how I wanted to do this project. I was thinking I was going to switch up some shades. The ones I had originally picked, I don't think were going to work for me anymore, so I wanted to switch them up, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, so I kind of came up with a game plan that I think is going to work better for me for the rest of the year. I find that I am slow at panning eyeshadows. I think it's just the brushes I use and the technique I use. I use my finger a lot for like lid shades, so I think just naturally I go through eyeshadow a little bit slower than some other people. So I'm still going to do my best and see what I can do by the end of the year, but I don't think I will hit my goal of hitting pan on 19 eyeshadows. I think that's unrealistic at this point. So let's jump into the shadows. I'm going to quickly show you the ones that I hit pan on before my last update. We'll just go back and review those. So the first two that I hit pan on was from this trio. It's the Ipsy NYX trio, and I was focused on these two shades, so those were the first two that I hit pan on. I had a pretty good dip in those, so that was really easy. And then the next one that I hit pan on was my Wet n Wild single in Brulee, and I was using this every day as an all-over lid shade, so that one I hit pan on as well. And then so that's three, and then this time I have two new shades to update you on. The first one is my Urban Decay single in Midnight Cowboy, and I was using this strictly as an inner corner highlight, and I have hit pan on that. As you can see, I was using a very small brush, so I was able to dig in there and hit pan pretty quickly. I think I hit pan, actually I think it was at the beginning of May 9th, I believe I hit pan on this one. So that was very exciting. The next one is probably the one I'm most excited about because I have been working on this one forever. I posted, I think, I was looking back, on Instagram, I think I posted a post about this shadow on May 8th saying I'm gonna hit pan every day now. And now it's been almost 2 months, and today I actually finally hit pan on it. I was so excited. I like screamed out loud. My neighbor probably heard me, and because I was like, yes, I did it. I was so excited. I've been working on this for, like I said, a long time. It is from my Dream Street Kathleen Lights and ColourPop palette in the shade Elfish, which is this brown shade here. I use it every day to darken up my outer corners, what I have on today. And yeah, there wasn't just a dip in here, there was like a huge crater. I don't know if that'll come across on camera, but it was a huge dip, and it was like I just would not hit pan. I felt like I was down at the bottom for the longest time, and it just wouldn't show. So finally showed up today, and I'm super excited. So I can definitely see using this again in the future, but I do have another shadow that I'm going to use for the same purpose that I use this, so I'm going to roll this out for a while. But yeah, I did really enjoy using that shade. So now we can talk about the remaining shades and how I plan to go about trying to pan them. So I figured I can pan, instead of trying to pan like 5 lid shades, I figured that I needed one shade for every purpose. So when I do a typical eye look, I will use 5 shades. I do a all over shade to set my eyelid primer, and then I do a crease shade, a all over lid shade, something to darken up the corner, and then an inner corner highlight. So I use 5 shades typically. So I figured if I had one of each of those, I could use, and I won't use this exclusively, I may use one day 2 the other day, and if I'm in a hurry, I can just use all 5 as an easy look, and it's quick and easy, and I can be out the door and I don't have to think about it. So I decided to pick one from each category, or I kind of looked at all the palettes and the colors I have, and I kind of picked colors that I picked colors that would fit those specific needs, and then I kind of wrote them in orders of how I want to use them. So, you know, if I have, this is the first lid shade I'm going to use. Once I'm through with that, I'm going to use this one. Same with the crease shade. I'm going to use this one first. Once I get through that, I'm going to focus on the next one. I might mix them up a little, especially with the lid shades. You know, if I have a champagne one day and then I'm feeling a gold, I might switch and go to the gold one. But, you know, I'll mainly focus on that first one and then move on down the list until, you know, hopefully I finish. Well, I don't think I'll finish, but, you know, get through as much as I can. So I'm just going to go through those shades with you and kind of what I'm going to use them for. And yeah, so let's start with my like setting shade. I only have one because I use such a fluffy brush for my eyelid not primer, to set the primer is what I'm trying to say. So I picked this shade from the Profusion Ultra Warm palettes. This is what it looks like, and I chose this shade right here. It was a brand new shade. I had never used it before, so I've only been using it probably not even a week, so no visual progress on there yet. I think this will take me a really long time. Just, again, the type of brush I use will kind of slow me down a little bit, but I am going to focus this and hopefully in 6 months I can hit pan on it. So now let's go into the crease shades. That's usually what I apply next. So the one I'm currently trying to pan is from the Lorac Mega Pro 4 palette, and I am trying to pan Mocha. Been working on that one for a while. I did take a break because I was trying to pan like a little sample of the Bahama Mama by The Balm, the bronzer, and once that got used up enough where I couldn't use it as a bronzer, I started using it as a crease shade. So this one kind of took a back seat, and yeah, but now I am ready to focus back on this again, so hopefully I can finish this one soon. There's a little bit of a dip, but not too significant of a one, so I think it'll still take me a little bit, but yeah, I really enjoy this shade. The next one I am going to focus on is from my Milani Pure Passion palette, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to focus on this shade right here, which is totally Fawn of You, and it's just a simple kind of light brown shade. It's right there, so that's going to be the next one that I have. And then from there, if I get to it, I am going to pick one from this Profusion Bold palette, and I'm not sure which one I would pick. It would be probably this one, or this one, and I'm gonna kind of leave that up to how I'm feeling if I get to that point, because the one I pick today may not be the one that I'm feeling in a couple months. So but that's where my third crease shade would come from if I need it, or if I get to that point. So let's talk about lid shades. So the first one that I'm working on is from this little Coastal Scents sampler, and I'm just doing this. It's like a peachy, it's kind of washed out on camera, but it's like a pink champagne color, and that's the one I'm focusing on. These are really tiny. The whole weight of this is 0.65 grams, so it's like a third of a gram. So I am using my finger to apply it, so I am like, my finger covers basically the whole pan, so I still think that'll take me a little while since I'm not using like a brush to dig in there. I think it'll take me a little while, but this is the one I'm focusing on first. And then I'm going to move on to this duo from Simply Vera Wang. This is really old. They don't make it anymore, but there's a champagne and a gold color in there. So that's the next one that I'm going to use. Excuse me. And then the one after that is going to be from the BH Cosmetics Foil Eyes 2. And again, I'm not going to pick a shade yet because, again, my taste may change. Originally, I was going to pick this one, but I think I would maybe do a lighter one, just more wearable for my everyday needs. So, again, I'll choose that if I get to that point. Outer corner shades. I only have one other one. That Elfish one is, I can check that one off. The next one is going to be from my BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette. So it's a super colorful palette, and I decided to pick the brown shade. And I picked this because on an everyday basis, this is one that I know I can get some use out of. I was originally picking Boho, which I could also use as like a lid shade, if I wanted to, but just looking at the other palettes, you know, and the amount of lid shades I had, I decided I wanted to use a matte from this palette, and the other mattes are super bright and just not something that I'm reaching for on an everyday basis, so I'm going to pan this shade. It is called Hipster. So I can start working on that one tomorrow. Let's see. And then inner corner highlight, I am using from my Too Faced chocolate bar palette. I am using Champagne Truffle, which is right here. Again, I'm using a very small brush, so you can see there's a little bit of a indentation starting. Again, I've only been using this one maybe a week or so, so that one's pretty new. So yeah, I think that one will be a good one. I think that one will take me a while as well. And that's the only one I have for an inner corner highlight. So again, if I hit pan on that one, then I would maybe pick something else. After that, I have 4 shades left, and I just put these as other because I wasn't really sure how I wanted to use these. Let's go over them and why I think they're going to be harder for me to pan. So the first one is the left side of the Coastal Scents duo sampler here, and it's just like it's just a color I don't wear. It's a cool tone, kind of like taupey gray. I could use it as a lid shade. If you have suggestions on how to use a color like that, let me know, because that's not a color I'm used to. And actually, I want to, now that I have it out, I want to swatch it next to this one, because this one, it's almost similar. The other one I picked, which was Dundas Street. This is from the Cargo Chill in the 6 palette. And look at those 2 shades. They are almost identical. They swatch differently. This is the Coastal Scents one, and then this is the Cargo one. So definitely the Cargo one is a lot more buttery and a lot more pigmented than this one. I think this one's just older too, but very similar shades. And again, I'm not sure if I like cool tones on me, and I haven't figured out what I like. I don't mind a cool tone on the lid, but I'm not sure what to put in the crease. If I just do like a cool tone brown, or I haven't figured out quite what I like. So if you have any suggestions on how to work with those 2 shades, let me know in the comments down below, because I could definitely use the suggestions. And then, okay, so from there, talked about those 2. The next one is this L Single. There's no shade name, it's just A12. It's kind of a weird, like, this is just a weird shade. It's like a purpley brownish red with gold glitter. It's just so weird. How did I swatch it in such a weird spot? It's strange, it's old. I have a feeling that this is one that at the end of the project, I'm never going to use it once. It's going to stay in for now. Maybe I can try working with it a little bit. It's kind of like a reddish brown, so that might be like a good fall color. So yeah, not sure how to use that one either. And then the last one I have in an other category is this Tristique. It's called the Mini Shadow Crayon in Aspen Pine, and it's this green, like cream shadow. This one is really pretty. I think it's such a pretty shade. It's just super dark, and I love the look of green shadows, but I haven't figured out how to work with them on an everyday basis, how to make the look wearable for work. I work in retail, so you know, I go to work early in the morning sometime, and I don't have time to get ready, and so to sit down and do a whole look with this like dark green doesn't fit my lifestyle very well. Now I've just like made a mess out of it. So yeah, again, this is another one I'm just not sure how to work with. So if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. But that is all 19 eyeshadows. I definitely feel better once I came up with this plan, and you know, a lot of times I'm creating similar looks from day to day for work, so having the 5 shades that I'm working on set and ready to go makes getting ready in the morning a lot easier. If you want to follow along, please subscribe. I do other painting videos. I have a couple other projects going on right now, so I will link my Project Pan playlist down below, along with if you want to watch the my first update or my intro video. You can watch that down below. I'm also doing a No Pan Left Behind challenge, where I'm also challenging myself to use every pan of eyeshadow in my collection. I'm doing that alongside this project pan, and so far it's going well. I'm getting shadows rotated through my collection as well, along with getting some use out of my project pan items. I'd say it's about 50-50. Some days I'm using something new, and some days I'm just using the project pan items. So I think that's really going well. Look for my update that will be coming soon for June, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.